What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We have another video coming up for you today. In the last video we talked a little bit about range of motion. If you missed it, go ahead and check that out now and then come on back for this one. We're going to talk a little bit about metabolism today. Is it a steady thing that you keep forever? Do you have a fast or a slow and you're just stuck with it? Or can it be changed? The truth is, it can be changed, but let me explain to you why. Alright guys, so check it out. One of the biggest myths you hear all the time is that people talking about metabolism. A lot of time you'll hear the older people say to the younger people, hey, enjoy all that junk food you're having now because your metabolism's fast. Wait till you get older and it slows down. Is this actually true? Well, the fact is it's not actually true. So, well, part of it is, I guess, if you want to be technical, part of it is true. So when you get older, you know, our bodies do slow down in general, of course, and I agree with that. Your metabolism isn't going to always be, right? It's not going to always change in the way that I'm going to show you. It's going to slow down in general, but it can be sped up or slowed down. In fact, bodybuilders and competitors use this tool all the time. How do you think they cut and build and cut and build? They use this. I'm going to explain all that to you guys in this video. I started to notice this myself when a long time ago when I first started. I think I was 17, and I asked a buddy, hey, I want to get bigger, you know, what kind of meal plan should I get on? And he wanted me to put in the work. So he said, go to bodybuilding.com, just research, you know, do some research on meal plans, whatever, just pick one, follow one, and stick to it. Because he knew, and he was much wiser than me at the time, of course, because he was a real big guy, and he knew that the diet doesn't really matter all that much. When you're that young, like I talked about in my other videos, you will grow, you will get bigger, and things like that without, like, you know, all these crazy variables. The point was find a bulking diet and stick to it. The simplest thing, right? But people don't do that, and so he knew, hey, just stick with it, whatever diet you find, and it'll work. And what I noticed was the more that I ate, like the more frequently I ate, the hungrier I was getting. And I'm like, why am I so hungry now? Like before, you know, I was just a normal kid. Like honestly, I'd get up, I'd have 2 donuts, an energy drink, and then I'd wait till lunch and I'd have mac and cheese. And then at dinner, I'd have whatever my mom cooked. And before bed, I'd have ice cream. That was it. If you want to count that as 4 meals, you can count that as 4 meals. That's not a lot of food. Now I switched it up, and I'm eating every 2 or 3 hours. I remember in math class, the math teacher loved me because I would pull out my shaker in the middle of her lecture. I didn't care. My lifting was more important than class. So that was really smart. And I would just start shaking it up because I ate before I went to school. I ate in math class, I ate at lunch, and then I ate before I went home from school, and then I ate when I got home from school, and then I would work out, and then I would eat after my workout, and I would eat again before bed. And I remember my parents were like, this is, you know, a lot of food here, bud. But the main point is, what I realized was, you know, okay, on day 1, that was really tough. I was like feeling full and just kind of crappy. On day 2, it was a little bit better. On day 3, 4, 5, 6, got better. By the next Monday, right, so I started on a Monday, by the next Monday, I found myself hungry. Like, I would eat breakfast, and by the time I got to school, I was like, I'm starving. And so by the time I got to school, I was realizing like, wait, I'm hungry now. But last week, I definitely wasn't. And that's when it first clicked to me. Then I was really explained it by my first coach when we started prepping me for my first show. Because this is how you control, you know, how much weight you hold on to or you get rid of. And also, like, when you're going into prep, what you do is you eat a lot of meals, right? And then when you continue to eat, say, 6 meals a day, but you take a little bit out each week, take a little bit out, take a little bit out. Now your body is burning all those calories, but you're eating less. And that's how people shred up really fast. You know, I mean, 12 weeks for a cut is not really, I mean, if you think about it, 3 months, you probably lose 20, 25 pounds. That's, you know, that's like if a lot of people would kill to lose 20, 25 pounds. But it starts with this dieting, and that's what I'm saying is you speed your metabolism up. To explain how it works, the way I like to explain it to people is kind of like this. When you eat, you know, 3 meals a day, you know, most people have breakfast, they go to work, they have lunch, and then they come home, they have dinner, they might have a snack before bed, and then they go to bed. Your body is always changing and adapting. It's an amazing machine, right? And I don't think people realize that. But what it does is it says, okay, I get fed at 7 o'clock, you know, in the morning. I get fed at noon, I get fed at 5 p.m. and sometimes I get a little something at 9 p.m. So our bodies, now let me just take you way back to the caveman days, right? You know, you're hunters gatherers, that's us, right? So we kill an animal and then we eat it, right? And our body might have to use those nutrients that we had for a week at a time. You know, I don't know how often we're catching these animals and things, right? So the body has adapted like that, and it's still that way today. So what it does is it says, okay, I get food at these times, 7, 11, you know, 5 p.m. and maybe 9 p.m. before bed. And so I'm going to use those resources, you know, over time. So if it knows that it gets fed at 7 and then if it gets fed at 11, it's going to use the resources between 7 and 11. And you're going to get hungry around 11, but not really before it, right? Because you're teaching your body, hey, hold on to this, I need it. And your body doesn't really know when it's going to get food also, because on the weekends, I'm sure you guys that aren't dieting at all right now, you know, you just eat whenever. Like you get up, you know, you might sleep in, you eat, and then you go hang out with some friends and you eat lunch, or you go grab dinner, or you go have some drinks at night, and that's all cool, fine, and dandy. But the point is the body can't really catch on, because it's like, I mean, it did catch on, but I guess what I'm saying is the body is holding on to food. When you eat every 2 to 3 hours, the body's like, yo, let's use what we need, let's get rid of the rest. And that's exactly what it does. So you eat at 7, and then you eat at 9:30, and then you eat at 12, and then you eat at 2:30, and then you eat at 5. You see what I mean? And so your body gets used to that routine, and it goes, bam, I'm getting food in 2 hours. There is no reason to hold on to anything that I don't need. And it just shreds it up. And that is how you actually speed up or slow down your metabolism. So to speed it up, what you do is, and something that you guys at home can do without being extreme, right, is as long as you're on a basic diet, right, what I encourage you to do is just look at your diet over the day of 2 or 3 meals and make it 6 meals. Now, don't increase what you're eating, just kind of distribute it into 6 meals instead of 3, if that makes sense to you. And just do that for a week and just see. You'll see, because let's say you eat at 6, 9, 12, 3, 6, something like that, you'll see exactly what I saw in high school, and you'll be hungry quicker, and then you'll be able to eat more food. And this is a huge point to drive home for people that are hard gainers, right? If you're a hard gainer, you need to eat more frequently, you know? I mean, people can eat 7, 8 meals a day. At one point, when I was getting ready for a show that I ended up not doing, I used to wake up in the middle of the night to eat, to just continue that cycle, right? So don't tell me it's not possible. If you really want to gain weight though, you know, this is key. This is detrimental to someone that's a hard gainer. You know, this is a key point right here. I wish I could just foot stomp the crap out of it, because it's so important. When you eat frequently like that and you stick to it, it's gonna suck at first, you know, but you start small. You start with these small portions, and then your body's gonna say, I can do more, I can do more. And then you find your limit, and I'm sure your limit's way higher. And when you're eating 6 meals a day at these 2 to 3 hour intervals, when you go and sit down and write down your macros and see how much you ate that day, you're gonna be just completely mind blown, because most people cannot do it 3 to 4 meals. It's just not gonna happen. So, I mean, that's basically all of it, guys. I mean, it's just, the concept is just your body knows it's getting food really frequently and on a schedule, just bang, 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 every 2 to 3 hours. And so if you want to speed up your metabolism, what you do is you eat more frequently. It doesn't have to be huge meals. Don't get that in your head. You can increase calories later, or if you're going to cut, you can decrease. So your body, you also trick your body the opposite way. You eat every 2 to 3 hours, but when you're cutting, you take a little bit of food every week. So your body's like, oh, I'm gonna get this because it got it all week, right? And then you're like, whoop, no, you're not. And your body doesn't know what to do, and it just shreds off all that extra fat, giving you a nice cut. And that's literally how competitors change their body weight, right? Because do you think that all competitors have a fast, do you think that we all have a fast metabolism when we want to cut, and then now we have a slow one, that's the steady state thinking, is like, it just doesn't even make sense, right? People that think, well, it's fast when you're young and it's slow when you're old and then you die and that's it. That doesn't make any sense, because there's people that compete that are 30. So are you telling me that, they're like, body, I want to cut, now I'm going to have a fast. oh, I want to bulk, now I'm gonna have a slow. That's not how it works. Because why? Because metabolism can be changed. Just like I showed in all the examples that I provided, you know, you eat more frequently, your body doesn't hold on to the food, it takes the nutrients it needs, gets rid of the rest, which in turn speeds up your metabolism. If you want to slow down your metabolism for whatever reason, you can eat less meals and it'll slow down. Just like how you are now. Like a lot of my friends, they eat 3-4 times a day and they don't eat a lot. Like they really don't eat a lot. But when you slow down your metabolism like that, even if you eat healthy, here's the thing guys, you're gonna gain weight because, I mean now, this is just looking at one aspect. I don't want you to think you're gonna gain weight. Like, oh, you're only eating 4 meals, you're gonna gain weight. But my point is, your metabolism is slower, so it's gonna be harder, right? If that makes any sense to you guys. So if you would just spread out all those calories and do 2 to 3 hours, you're going to see better results than if you didn't. Because why? Because your metabolism is faster. And that's gonna be it for me today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please smash that like button. Leave a comment below if you made it this far in the video, or if you have a question for me, be sure to subscribe for more content just like this, and so you don't miss any new upcoming content. Follow me if you're watching me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one. The standard American diet, probably a lot of McDonald's and bullshit like that. Beep. Boop. Beep, boop, boop, boop.